Welcome back to the Hockey Show, and today is the day. April 17th, this Monday, it all starts. Today is the first day of the Stanley Cup playoffs, baby. We're here. We've made it. It is so exciting. It starts all at 4 o'clock between the Hurricanes and the Islanders, but that is not what we're talking about, because I already talked about that. Go see that video now. But anyways, we're talking about the LA Kings versus the Edmonton Oilers, a rematch from last year's playoffs, and that was a good series. Two teams that have really conflicting philosophies of how to win games. The Kings, just so much depth and young talent throughout this squad, maybe not getting the most points in the world, but getting the job done nonetheless. And the Edmonton Oilers, I mean, it goes without saying, a team that is maybe not stacked, but studded with the highest quality players, and in my opinion, the best player in the world. And it goes, I don't even need to introduce him. You know who it is, but I'll say it anyways. Connor McJesus, McDavid of the Oilers, Leon Draisaitl, superstar. But we'll talk about those guys in a second. So these two teams, now last year, the Oilers beating the Kings in the first round, getting to the conference finals, losing to the Avalanche, who go on and win the Stanley Cup. This year, they are even better than they were last year. They are the perfect sequel. They are the definition of a perfect sequel. You take what was so good about the first movie, and then you just expand upon it. And that is what the Oilers did. They took what was great last year, and you know what? They didn't really add any new pieces. But what they did do, which I guess isn't really the Oilers' fault, but Connor McDavid just gets better. 153 points this year, absolutely. I mean, I don't need to tell you that how great that is, but phenomenal. Phenomenal. You thought he was good last year. Look at him this year. Unbelievable. The LA Kings, Anze Kopitar, Philip Deneau, two of the best two-way centermen in the league, just shut down their two great centermen. Interesting, conflicting ideals here. Now, in the season series this year, the Kings and the Oilers both going 2 for 2 against each other. So going into the playoffs, though, who's hot, who's not? The LA Kings going in their last 10 games 5-5. So right there, just completely split, and they're 4-3 this month. So not the hottest going into the playoffs. Not doing bad, but definitely not as hot. Not as much momentum as you'd want going into it. The Oilers, though, 9-0-1 going into the playoffs in their last 10. Haven't lost a single game in regulation. They've won every game this month, I believe, except maybe the first game of the month. Whatever. And they're in a 9-game winning streak. Fantastic. That's what you want to see going into it. That is what you want to see as an Oilers fan going into it. Because what you would be scared of in this matchup is, on paper, the Oilers are a better team somewhat. And that is, we'll break it down here. So, the stats of these two teams. Goals for the LA Kings, 274. That's 10th in the NHL. Problem, Oilers, first in the NHL with 325. Whoa. Whoa. Goals against, though. Kings, 16th in the NHL with 254. The Edmonton Oilers at 17th with 256. So basically wiped that clean. So when it comes to getting scored on, these two teams are completely even. But the Oilers, they have that offensive advantage. They have, and that's not surprising either. When I think of the LA Kings, I think of just an overall well-rounded team that just gets the job done. They're not going to win. I mean, every team sure wins at some point 7-1 some point in the season. But they're designed, in my eyes, to play those tight games and win those 3-4 battles, right? To win those 2-3, win the 1-goal games, right? That is how I see the Kings being designed as. They're the teams that are going to get the 1 or 2 goal wins. The Oilers designed to win like 7-3, 7-4 really. They're going to get scored on, but they're also going to score way too many goals. That's how they're designed. The Kings, they're made to have that tight game. Tight, Tuco. If anyone knows what that is, you'll think that was funny. Anyways, the Oilers, designed to get all those goals. Just, it doesn't matter how many times they get scored on, it's how many they can score. That's the whole point of the Oilers. Kings the other way around. They're going to try to keep you from, well, actually no, they're just going to try to score one more than you. But anyways, other stats to take note of. is that the Kings are 11th when it comes to shots for per game. They're 11th in the NHL, and they're 4th when it comes to shots against. So they're pretty good at keeping shots away from the net. They don't get shot on a lot. 11th in the NHL for shots for, though. That might be a little concerning, but I mean, that's almost top 10. That's in the top half of the league, so I mean, it's not really that bad, and especially when the averages are like 32 to like a jump up 7 spots, and it's only like 33, so it's really not that big of a deal. But just kind of over 82 games, that is a sort of big deal. So they don't let a lot of shots against, though. The Oilers, though, 6th in shots for, so that's interesting. So the Oilers are really good at getting a lot of shots in and getting opportunity to shoot on net, while the Kings are good at keeping those away, which is interesting. The scary thing for the Oilers, though, and which is why they're 17th in the NHL for goals against, is they have 19th in shots against. So they get a lot of shots against them, a lot of opportunities for the other team to score. And when it comes to playoff hockey, yes, it's a different atmosphere. I'm sure they're going to be playing a little bit tighter on defense, a little bit smarter. But still, just going off of those bare-bone facts, it's got to be kind of scary for the Oilers, because giving up all those opportunities in the playoffs, if you were giving 19th best opportunities in the NHL, the Kings, Victor Arvidsson, those type of guys, the not top, well, even the top guys, but the not top guys looking for those goals to be a hero, you don't want to leak all those shots to the other team. So that's going to be a scary opportunity there. Power play, though, first is the Edmonton Oilers in the league with 32.4. 32.4 on the power play. That is crazy. That is crazy good. The Kings, pretty good, with 4th being 25%, but that's great. That's almost a 10-point difference. That's crazy. That is a crazy advantage for the Oilers. Penalty kill. Both these teams suck on the penalty kill. The Kings, 24th in the NHL. I believe they're the second lowest team on the penalty kill in the for playoff team-wise. So they're the second worst penalty killing team, and that is scary when you've got the best power play unit in the NHL going up against you, and they have a 32% on it. That is scary. That is not a good stat to be looking forward to. The Oilers not very good at it either, though, being 20th in the NHL with only 77%. So, I mean, sure, it's only like a 1.2 difference in percentage there, and that makes a big jump. But it is scary when you've got the first and 7-point differential in favor of the Oilers when it comes to the power play to your penalty kill. That'll be scary for the Kings to worry about. Top guys wise, so Anze Kopitar, the captain of the team, the 35-year-old, leading in points still a stud. 74 points, 28 goals, 46 assists. This guy leading the way, nothing wrong with him. He's a great two-way defender. I mean, forward, you're going to want to stick him on McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, so they're going to do that. That goes without saying. Probably more on Draisaitl, because I think McDavid, Danault is going to be the more guy to match up with him because of the speed element there. But Kopitar, shutdown guy. He gets points and he stops plays, so very good for the Kings there. That is one thing that they got that other teams are not going to have going up against the Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton, let's say they go up against the Vegas Golden Knights. Sure, you got Mark Stone there, but after that, who's going to be stopping these guys from making their plays? I don't know. That's one thing that the Kings have an advantage over other teams is their shutdown forwards. Kevin Fiala from the Minnesota Wild last year, 72 points, 23 goals this year. This guy's a freaking, talk about like just a smooth player. Kevin Fiala. And Adrian Kempe, 41 goals, leading the team in goals and 67 points. So, goals-wise, pretty good. 26 assists, not spectacular, but they got a goal scorer here, and they're going to be looking to feed him the puck. That goes without saying, but when a team like the Oilers are giving up so many opportunities, you're going to be looking for guys like Kopitar and especially Kempe and Fiala, all three of those guys, to be getting the puck. Guys like Victor Arvidsson who can snipe as well. Get them the puck, and they're looking for those opportunities. Oilers-wise, we know the whole shebang. Connor McDavid, 153 points. Freaking stud. Freaking phenomenal. 64 goals this year. obviously, I know it goes without saying, but the Kings need to shut that guy down. Draisaitl, 52 goals. Once again, unreal player, 128 points, and 104 points goes to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So last season, they go into the season with, I'm pretty sure Draisaitl got to 100 points. 200-point guys in McDavid and Draisaitl. This year, they're going in with 3, and all 3 of those guys are even better than they were last year, and they beat the LA Kings. So that's got to be scary. But in net is where things are a little bit different overall completely. So, for the LA Kings, you got Joonas Korpisalo back there. Korpisalo, since coming to the Kings, he's 7-3-1. He's got a .213 save percentage. Goals against average, and a .921 save percentage. So numbers pretty dang good. Pretty dang good for Joonas Korpisalo. Now, it's 11 games being played there. Not a lot of sample size, but 7-3-1, those numbers pretty good. The guy's been looking good all year. Personally, I've never been a big believer in Joonas Korpisalo, but his numbers don't lie, so why should I say otherwise? Stuart Skinner or Jack Campbell. And now I know if you're watching this, you're probably like, oh, whatever. Campbell's awful, right? Yes, he is. He's in the season, he was awful. But last playoffs, the Toronto Maple Leafs, when they needed him, I personally think, watching those games, he was the number one reason why the Toronto Maple Leafs even got anywhere close to beating the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round last year. So for Jack Campbell, if he is able to tap that element in the playoffs and he's able to be that mode, that would be a huge thing for the Oilers' complete playoff run, especially against the Kings, who are already, they're good at scoring goals, but not that good. And when you get up there against teams like Vegas or like Colorado, that's when you're going to need a guy like Jack Campbell to show up. Now, Stuart Skinner, no real playoff experience, and I know he's been good. I know he's good. He's not bad by any means. He's 14-1-1 in his last 16 games played, and he's only in his last 4 games started, he's only allowed 1 goal in those games. So Stuart Skinner looking pretty good lately in the last quarter of the season. Last 4 games looking fantastic. I have no reason to say he's bad by any means, but just Jack Campbell, seeing him in the playoffs last year and just how clutch that guy was. If I was putting my money on a goalie, I would try to get Jack Campbell an early game. Get him in game 2 and see if he can play like that goalie. If not, if he gives up 2 goals in the first period, pull him out. He's not that goalie. But if he is that goalie, put him in there. He was so close to taking out the Tampa Bay Lightning. And if he's that good in the playoffs for the Oilers, a team that needs goaltending and the defense isn't too spectacular, then that would be a huge play. But the safe thing to do would probably be Stuart Skinner. So that's all. But question marks for these teams. Well, not really question marks, but my biggest thing for these teams. So for the LA Kings to win this, they obviously can't match up against their offense. The Oilers' offense, second to none in the NHL. The Oilers, too fast. They're too skilled. They're just overall offensively better. So how do you do that? You need to play defensive. You need to play physical. That is the way you beat a team that's faster than you. Imagine you're playing NHL, right? Imagine you are playing NHL on the Xbox or PlayStation or whatever the hell, and you're playing the game. How do you beat your friend? Your friend who's faster than you, who knows how to play the game better. You stay back a little bit, you play more defense, and you get those safe plays up the boards, and you look for your opportunities to score. That's what the LA Kings need to do, and I know that's not saying really much, but that is the key. The key to beating someone who's faster than you is to play more physical. The thing is, though, is that to beat someone who's more physical than you, you got to be faster than them. So there's that difference. But they just got to play better overall. They need to play safe. They need to play smart. Phoenix Copley and Joonas Korpisalo need to be shutdown goaltenders. There's no, they need to be solid. No, they just need to be good. They need to be stand-up guys. When McDavid, because there's no way, you can't cancel out McDavid. You can slow him down, you can close out his opportunities, but he's going to pave his way into getting an all-star shot. Bet 64 goals, highest goals in, the last 20 years or something like that? Like, he's going to find his opportunities regardless. And when those times happen, Korpisalo or Copley, whichever one's in net, is going to need to find those saves. Because that is going to be the key to their success, is shutting down when they get their opportunities. Because it's going to happen every game. It's not like other games where you can try to shut them down from getting those chances. The Oilers are going to find their opportunities, and they're going to need to shut those. The goaltenders are going to need to make those glove saves when they absolutely need to. Also, you're going to need to slow down the game. The Oilers, they're speedy, they're skilled, they're fast, they're quick, right? How do you stop that as well? You got to slow down the momentum. Make it play your style of the game. Slow everything down. Make it a library in there. You guys, get the puck behind your net and just stand there and wait. Wait for the Oilers to make a move, pass the puck up the boards, try to skate in, no lane, just turn right back around. Play it slow. When you get in the zone, just pass it back to the defense, D to D, look for those passes, find someone in the middle, look for the open lanes. No stupid opportunities, no rushing or crashing the net when you don't need to, and just lose the puck the other way with no real good opportunity, even though everyone in the crowd was like, oh! No, play safe. Just pass the puck around, look for your opportunities, slow the game down, and capitalize on mistakes. Last year, when I saw the Blues not almost beat the Avalanche, but when I saw their opportunities to beat the Avalanche, how did they win? They won by finding those mistakes. The Avalanche, they're so skilled, they would try to sometimes would do a little bit too much. I saw, especially in that first game against the Blues, you would see them. They'd pass the puck around a lot. They're doing a lot of moves because they're really skilled. They can make those moves, and it's crazy how confident they are that they can do that. Well, with the Oilers here, look for the team to make those mistakes. Look for guys like Broberg or Bouchard to make that big pass over to Nurse or whoever the hell, and they miss the pass, and it leads on to like an opportunity to get those mistakes. Rush down the ice. It's not like the Kings are bad. The Kings are a very good team. It's just they're going to need to look for those opportunities. You're not going to be able to outplay. I mean, that's the thing I'm going to talk about right here, is they need to take advantage of when those depth guys are out there. The Oilers, up front, absolutely fantastic. But when you get down to the bottom two lines, forward lines, they've got nothing. I mean, sure, Nick Bukestad, he's a freaking giant, but what is he going to do to play hard? Nothing, right? You look for those opportunities. When those guys are out there, find those goals. That's when you're going to need to have your depth guys step up. Because when Kopitar and Deneau, they got to be out there when Draisaitl and McDavid are out there. So when those on the third and fourth line, guys like Byfield are on the ice, they need to be the guys to find those clever goals. Because they're going to need to hold the Oilers at like 2 goals, and the Kings are going to need to find those 3. Keep them at 1 goal. Let McDavid, and that's going to be so hard to do anyways, because with Draisaitl and McDavid, you got, like, every game those guys are going to be looking to score at least 1 goal, if not 2. Imagine trying to keep the whole team at 1. So that is going to be such a hard difficulty for them to play at. So when those guys, those third and fourth liners are out there, that's when you're going to need to find those opportunities to score those important goals. Edmonton Oilers, for you guys, do not rely on your defense or goaltending. Obviously, in the season, 19th in the league with goals against, one of the lowest of the playoff teams, right? And, the key here is that I don't think that, like, Stuart Skinner sucks or anything, but I don't think the Oilers' defense is a lot more situated to play offensively, right? And it makes sense. I mean, the Oilers, first in the NHL in offense. Sure, McDavid's on the team, Draisaitl's on the team, Nugent Hopkins on the team, but the Oilers' defensive guys, I mean, you got Nurse, who's got, 40-something points. You've got other guys. Barry, when he was on the team, he was at 40 points, and we were only at the trade deadline. So the Oilers' defense, they like to make plays, they like to play, they like to skate up the ice. So I think if the Kings ever have the momentum swing, I think personally, and I'm probably wrong, so tell me all how wrong I am down below, but I personally believe that with the Oilers, when it comes to their defense and goaltending being pushed to their limit, I think they're going to break before they bend, and that's just my personal opinion. Also, obviously, your offense is incredible. Take over the game. Push the Kings and the pace. Don't sit back. Don't let the Kings dictate the pace of the game and slow everything down. and I know this goes without saying, but with McDavid and all those guys, they cannot allow the Kings to be the ones running house and making the passes out there, making McDavid play defense and getting tired, making him go skate back and forth, trying to cover guys, tiring out his legs. So when he finally does get that rush up the ice, yeah, on one leg, McDavid's probably faster than everyone else in the NHL, but still, he's going to be tired, and you're not going to want that to happen and have those guys always playing defense. So you need to be the ones pushing the pace, pushing the Kings, and the depth guys, don't expect them to, I mean, yes, you need your depth to score goals, but don't look for that. Obviously, I know the Kings are, the Oilers are situated to rely on their depth. But those guys just do their job. Just go out there, prevent goals. Guys like Nick Bjugstad are good at going to be shutting down a play. I mean, the guy's a freaking giant. Block shots, get the puck out of the way, play physical out there, and push the other guys. And maybe, who knows, maybe the Kings, that's when they're going to roll out their guys trying to look for those goals, because they're going to think the third and fourth line is their opportunity to score. Maybe you play safe, you play silent, wait for those shots, block the shots, turn it around, go the other way, and look for the same way the way the Kings are going to score. You do the same thing the other way, find the 2-on-1 rush after a bad block, skate up the ice 2-on-1 against the King, you find that goal. So that's all I got to say. So my prediction between these two teams is, I think overall the Oilers just have this one in the bag. I mean, they're the perfect sequel up to last season. The Oilers, they have everything that the Kings have and more, and I just believe in them more. And they beat them last year. The Kings have done really nothing to make me, other than Fiala. I just don't see what they have being capable of taking down the Oilers. I just have no chance. So that is all I got to say. So thank you for watching this, and until next time, please pick up your free subscription. I'm begging you, please just click the subscribe button. And until next time, too sweet, have an amazing day, and ta-ta for now.